Hello everyone, it's Alfie. This is going to be a long one, so bear with me. The reason I'm making this video is because I don't appreciate false rumors being spread about me in an online community, and I don't appreciate my friends being targeted as a result of these false rumors. I will also be providing context along with timestamps and evidence to back up my claims, which is something that Lala failed to do throughout his entire video except for vague references. It's been 5 years since I was last here. Back then, Animal Jam drama was crazy. While it seems like everyone I knew has moved on from spreading baseless rumors for clout and bullying people to be on your side, it appears that all except for one person has not, and that would be Lala, formerly known as Yawn, Kicks Scams, Lakin, Plugins, Recodification, Sleck, Clay's AJ, Gang, and possibly others that I'm not made aware of. I highly suggest that you search on YouTube for videos under those names for context, as he's been exposed under every single one of his past usernames, only to delete that channel and Animal Jam account to come back under a new name as a way to wipe his old reputation. Hence, not a lot of people know about Lala's past and can openly take his side without doubts. If you have trouble believing that it's the same person, there are many clips of his old streams in some of the exposing videos that place his voice, and he sounded pretty similar back then to how he sounds now.
You said like a hot hair, think back like I'll be fixed, right? Like everything will be fixed. I don't have a 10 hijis, but I do have my glitch string.
And I just basically became Kicks for, it was on and off for many years, I'm pretty sure.
I'll also be linking some videos in the description that goes into explaining some of Lala's past, especially a very well documented video from Patch the Alpha explaining his Clay's AJ days. There's also a much more recent one uploaded by Valves on scandals he's done currently as Lala, another one made by Juden, and many previous exposing videos across his old usernames that I will be linking down below, so feel free to watch all of them. I will be making another full in-depth video on Lala with evidence and references on things he's done across all of his past names, because there's just so much about him that I don't think would be fitting for this video, as I am solely making this to combat his false accusations and to call him out for his blatant lies, so stay tuned for that in the near future. Also, throughout this video, I'm going to include snippets of evidence on Lala's past to support my claims, because I believe that it is relevant against the claims that he makes about me. So sit back, grab some popcorn, because this is going to be an absolute masterpiece of a video from start to finish, with a lot of evidence included that I never bothered to compile before, because I simply don't care enough about internet drama. However, if Lala wants to start a war for no reason at all, I'll simply return the favor. And guys, please don't laugh at my old usernames in the screenshots that I provide. I was 15 when I made them, and child me thought it was hilarious. Before we get started, please do share this video with your friends to help bring publicity on the issue, as I did spend a lot of work digging and compiling everything, and I believe it's important for the community to know what kind of person Lala truly is. Let's get into it. I'll never understand how after all these years, Lala still believes that anyone I've called, messaged, taken an Instagram screenshot with, made a video with, or streamed with are all girls I've dated. And I'm here to say that while I did online date within the Animal Jam community, which back in 2020 was pretty common, a pretty known Animal Jam streamer couple back then were Monsoons and Swaggy Awesome Swag, if you guys were around during that time. To most of us now, those relationships were never considered real. It was just 15-year-olds being 15-year-olds on the internet, similar to your Roblox or Fortnite girlfriend you might have had in 2015. Now, I don't recall being abusive towards any one of them, as Lala claims. Obviously, there were petty arguments over dumb stuff that 15-year-olds argue about, but it was nothing beyond that. And if I did come off that way, I apologize, as it was never my intentions. Unlike Lala, who, in his past, has harassed his ex-girlfriends, threatened to leak their personal information for exposing him while he was Clay's AJ, and this is only one of the many examples that I will list here for this video. Not to mention, while Lala was Kicks Scams, he had a group of girls that surrounded and supported him while spreading his name, saying things along the lines of, "Subscribe to Kicks Scams," which seems pretty manipulative to me. Lala claims that I was a big fan of him back in 2019, but honestly, I don't think I ever was. All I remember about him is he being Kicks Scams at the time, openly harassing me, DDoSing me, harassing my friends, and being a scammer slash manipulator. To be fair, I tried my best to warn my friends and other streamers about him because, as I've said before, he likes to delete his account and come back under a new name, in a way clearing his old bad reputation until he gets exposed again. That was probably why he always had a thing against me, as I ruined his precious new reputation. Another mention is how he says his boy Kazi has screenshots, despite Kazi having colluded together on Lala's past as a scammer and a hacker. Once again, this is just one of the many examples that exists out there, but I'll put it here to give you guys some context. When Lala was known as Gang, I believe he changed his channel name from Plugins during this time. He had a stream where he admits to hacking Daddy Elena with Kazi, and on top of that, this entire livestream was basically to manipulate his viewers into giving him items so he wouldn't quit. As you can see here with the stream description that read, "If I get donated a headdress, I will not delete my channel. I have no motivation to do anything." Lala and Kazi would eventually have a falling out in 2020, where Kazi would DM me asking me to send him a screenshot of Lala sending me an IP grabber. Kazi then made threats to make a video on Lala. Lala eventually reached out to me wanting to talk and would disclose to me that Kazi was the one who raided my Discord server sometime in 2020. While I personally never understood their obsession with me back then, they were obsessed with getting me to join a voice call and would spam it on my live chats to harass me and my friends about it. It's probably to intimidate or scare me back then, but honestly I just ignored most of it. Another funny claim is how Lala mentions in his video that I'm apparently extremely scared of him.
This guy's terrified of me. He absolutely is terrified.
I'm 21. I've never been scared of his harassing tactics, and if it makes him feel proud that he tried so hard to intimidate a 16-year-old back then with threats on the internet, then so be it. In his video, he claims I dated a 9-year-old. Her username at the time was LaffyTaffy1 or Laffy Animates, and this was public information. Lala proceeded to provide a weirdly cut out clip of Laffy saying that I was going to hack her.
Remember when you said you might hack me?
When did I say that?
You said it like sometime. Well, never mind. Okay, never mind.
Which is obviously a joke based on the tone of voice she used. I have never dated her. If you guys were around in 2020, then you'll remember this rumor was spread around a lot, although it never went anywhere because once again, it simply didn't happen.
I know it's really bad that I don't have any sort of evidence of them actually dating, but I can assure you from people from back then, there are some massive adult content creators that are still playing this game and friends that I have that remember this time. He was dating this girl.
As to her being 9 years old, me being 16, and us calling on Discord, she lied about her age and claimed that she was 14 or so. Unfortunately, her account has since been deleted, but references are pointing to the account being Laffy. This is confirmed by Blue Fire Nova, which was Laffy's best friend at the time. Blue also knew that Laffy and I hated each other back then due to petty drama, which Laffy kept bringing up and kept trying to trick me with whatever it was back then. Laffy also lied to Blue about her age, and Blue didn't find Laffy's true age until much later. If you ask me, was I supposed to ask a 14-year-old girl to prove her age by asking for a form of ID, birth certificate, or what she looked like? I wouldn't. But unfortunately, Lala, who made this whole accusation against me, feels like it's normal to ask a girl in her bra for a picture, and ask another 14-year-old girl for her virginity. After I found out that Laffy was 9 and underage, I stopped associating myself with her and banned her from my Discord server. So not only did this girl lie about her age to me and her friends, she also made a Discord account. Normally, it can be assumed that she was 13 or older, as Discord prohibits users younger than that age on their platform. Not to mention, this entire time during our interactions, I was only being friendly and assumed our connection was that of colleagues, as is how I interact with most people. I find it mildly intriguing how Lala wants to drive a point home with false accusations of me dating a 9-year-old who lied about her age, while he was over there openly asking underage girls for pictures and their virginity. Also, Lala mentioned that he couldn't make a video back then because he was on a Chromebook, while he was openly doxing, scamming, hacking, and manipulating on live streams, and on top of that would post videos of himself scamming and hacking other people across his history of usernames. He should also stop mentioning that I'm overall such a bad person.
This guy's a weirdo and he's a predator, so just to, kind of stay away from this guy.
And telling people not to interact with me while having a track record as horrendous as his. I honestly have no idea why he even made it such a big deal that I left a comment on one of my old friends' YouTube videos. I left a comment saying OMG Adoria upload, which is her current Discord username. On his video, he censors the name as if it's anything confidential, and he responded with a comment saying, of course you remember her when she was a minor. And What is that even supposed to mean? Once again, this brings into his obsession with me being a predator whenever I interact with someone younger than me. I respond with an entire message because honestly I wasn't gonna sit there while he spat fast accusations towards me and his attempts of starting drama on my friend's YouTube video. He then proceeds to say that my accusations were weird, my analogies used there were weird as well, while ever so conveniently ignoring the part where I called him out for trying to stare at a minor in a bra. It later occurred to me while editing this video that he actually did respond, but he says, and I quote, "Flirting with a 12-year-old when I was 13 in 2018 is not the same as when you dated a 9-year-old when you were 15. I guess to Lala, being inappropriate and asking to see solicit pictures of a 12-year-old girl is considered acceptable at the age of 13. And again, he mentions that I am just so terrified of him because of the mountain of evidence that he has.
He absolutely is terrified the fact that how much evidence I do have on this guy.
Which we have yet to see in his video besides him just rambling about me being such an evil person. He claims that I am closer to Stray Cat than he is, while the both of them have had mountains of exposing videos made on them over the years on things more than just petty drama. Again, Lala mentioned me being in a call with a 9-year-old, which I explained earlier in the video, but this time he claims that I was being flirtatious with her.
Really weird to be in a call for 9-year-old and kind of being flirtatious with them. It's weird, Alfie.
Remember when you said you might hack me?
When did I say that?
You said it like somewhere, sometime. Well, never mind. Okay, never mind.
I wonder where it was that I was being flirtatious. And on top of that, his whole video, he mixes up flirtatious with being nice. Just because you leave someone a nice comment on the internet does not mean you're trying to flirt with them. Now he mentions a picture of this 9-year-old calls me her dad, which I would not have let that slide when I read it, and I probably wasn't there in the stream where it happened. But once again, this is the internet. I can't control what weird comment someone chooses to say about me, the same way I cannot control who tries to make an exposing video on me with bogus claims to stay relevant. Now this is an interesting one, so please bear with me. I'll be sharing specific dates in my screenshots to piece it all together. Lala claims that I was seen sending around a dox of him, and also that I am the sole reason of him getting quote-unquote swatted. I will say now that I don't support swatting and have never swatted anyone in the past. The screenshot he provides of me sending his information is true. I did send that picture, and I do apologize for my 15-year-old self back then, as looking back on it now, that was out of place for me to do. Then again, I had only sent it to select friends who he harassed, scammed, hacked, manipulated, and attempted to dox in the past. Not to mention the amount of times he's tried to harass me, IP grab me, and he DDoSed me as well. He also doxed one of my very close friends at the time, Dubstep Queen, and uses some very questionable language towards her, like telling her to off herself. And while that doesn't give justification because two wrongs don't make a right, it does provide some context on the things that Lala was doing to me back in 2020, only to complain about it later when I simply sent a picture to my friends without any of the harassment. I'm not sure where he got the idea to pin him getting swatted on me if he was even swatted to begin with. I never swatted anyone in my life, and the only two times I ever disclosed someone's personal information like that was Lala and Stray Cat 2, who were both doxed already by other people for the things they've done. I honestly respect how he crafted this story to play the victim and pin it on me, but I will provide specific timestamps on everything to support my claim. His dox has been public since 2019 and maybe even before that. I unfortunately can't show the name of this person because they are afraid of being harassed by Lala, as they have been in the past for speaking out. On Lala's video, he shows a brief clip of police showing up on his door while he was streaming under the name Plugins.
Hey Plug, hello. Thank you for the rare stethoscope. Let me add Taz's gift to the description as well. As 5th gift of all time, you know? 5th gifter is of all time. One second, chat, 1 second.
You can tell by his auto saying plug in, and he blames that on me, saying that he was being swatted while never showing the full clip. But in reality, he disclosed on a stream chat that he had the police called on him at his house because someone passed away on May 15, 2020. And the screenshot of me leaking his information was shared on September 6, 2020, making it impossible for me to have been the one that caused his situation. On top of that, Lala quit streaming under the name Plugins after trying to manipulate his viewers into giving him a headdress after he faked being hacked, which I mentioned earlier in this video. There's also a post that he made on his community tab with an extremely empty apology about him manipulating his viewers for a headdress, where he mentions the police being called at his house saying his mother has passed away. Once again, it's impressive how he manages to play victim here and say that I was the cause of this, and in his shallow apology he stated that he had the police called on him, not swatted. Here's some more to go along with that. There are also 3 exposing videos made under Lala's name of Plugins at the time, and they date around May to June of 2020, which is 4 months before the date I shared Lala's information that was already public. And given his past track record of changing usernames whenever he got exposed, it's highly unlikely he continued to stream under the name Plugins up until September of 2020 and beyond. Not to mention, on May 24 of 2020, Lala changed his channel name at the time from Plugins AJ to Kick Scams, marking the end of an era for his Plugins channel. While I do have sympathy for his family who suffered as a result of his poor online behavior, it was never because of me. And once again, I'm not sure why he twisted the story around so much to make it seem as if I'm the one who swatted him, and on top of that, lied about the event itself, which was in reality the police showing up to his house. Lala first starts by saying that I attempted to return a year ago. Well, I haven't touched Animal Jam much since 2021, and I definitely don't recall trying to return a year ago. I've only been back for 2 weeks, and the guy already wants to start beef. He then mentions how he DMs me, which I supposedly responded with a message of, "What color is your Bugatti?" Which honestly I think right now is absolutely hilarious that I said that, and of course I was gonna block him because once again he spent his entire days harassing me as Kicks and his other past names. What made him think I want to talk to him? He then proceeds to flash like honestly the weirdest pic of me on a stream because the angle was horrible combined with the bad lighting. I would have preferred one of the first pics he used as his thumbnail. This one was taken in 2017 in Las Vegas. I think it was the Bellagio Hotel or somewhere around that, which would have made me 13 years old. And why do you have a picture of me when I was 13 years old? Honestly, that's kind of weird. But Lala did have a history of asking underage girls for explicit pictures like I mentioned earlier, so I guess it's not surprising. The second one, I was a picture of me I took when I was in San Diego in 2018, which would have made me 14. I did post all of these on my Instagram page, but they haven't been public for a few years, which make this even more concerning. And here's a funny moment of one of my mutuals wanted to comment on this video about how good I look back then. It's also disappointing you chose to ridicule someone for their choice of profession and looks.
Horrendous. This guy looks like an actual ape. Say, what color's your Bugatti when he works in retail?
We all start somewhere, and for me at 19 years old, along with many other teenagers, that was retail. I eventually moved on within half a year for better opportunities. 15-year-old edgy me thought it was funny to mention scamming as something cool, and back then my wording was interesting. So I apologize to anyone who's seeing this and getting it the wrong way. This first thing honestly is just kind of funny. At 15 years old, I didn't even have a credit card, and if banks are letting 15-year-olds get away with opening one and then fraudulently spending on one, it calls into question the integrity of our banking system. Lala then goes to say again that I date girls for their items, and that honestly is just one of those rumors that's been floating around, and it just isn't true. As I mentioned earlier in the video, while I did online date within the Animal Jam community, I never used it as a way to get rare or whatever he claims. Most of my gifts that I received them on a live stream, and it was all willingly given to me, which once again is ironic for him to accuse me of, given he's openly scammed his ex-girlfriends, threatened to expose their personal info for speaking out, and continuously harassed people, not just his exes, for speaking out against him. Alright, the second thing is honestly the entire part out of that whole video that looks bad when you first see it, so I'll try my best to break everything down. He shows a screenshot of me saying that I manipulate gifts on a stream as a means to get rare faster, and once again, edgy 15-year-old Alfie thought it was really funny to incorporate words that involve scams, so I apologize for how those text messages came off. Let's dive into this a little bit. Most of us that watch the small streamer probably know that they're not very known in the community, and as a result often has less gifts given to them, and any gift given to them that's big enough will usually warrant a pretty good response. This reaction is why people gift items to streamers on top of supporting them. Most of us probably wouldn't want to give a streamer anything if all they say is a simple "oh thanks" sounding dry and unappreciative. This doesn't happen as much in 2025 anymore because of the bad Animal Jam economy, but for those of you that were here in 2020, a lot of gifts were being sent to the many streamers present during that time, and it was all the same. Whenever that streamer got given something big like a long collar or a solid, they usually would have a pretty big reaction and start freaking out, which would warrant the chat into entering a frenzy, often spamming "spoil him or her" repeatedly, and the chain would continue, sometimes reaching upwards of gifts to headdresses simply because of the streamer showing a very good reaction. I realize now the way I phrased it back then was probably not the best, and I do apologize for how it came off. I truly believe that I did not use this as a method to get rare, because then there would, or I would assume, clips of my stream or me on someone else's stream doing this. Lala proceeds to once again ramble on and on about how I'm evil, how I dated girls for items, how I'm manipulative, all while providing absolutely zero contact, zero evidence, and no backstory besides the usual. He's just so bad, he's so evil, stay away from him, I hate this guy, like he's been doing for this entire video. He closes with,
You thought I wouldn't do it, but I dropped the video, bro. Go back to Genshin and back.
as if I'm meant to be intimidated by his 15-minute long video of his pointless yapping. It's quite interesting how Lala left a comment saying that I took down my streams while he was editing. My past streams have been private ever since I left fully in 2021. For a time, all of my videos were private as well until later where I made the ones that I deemed okay public again. Once again, he seemed posting more about people that I supposedly dated that were younger than me. It's surprising that anyone can believe that, given he's failed to provide any evidence of me being in anything more than a platonic relationship with anyone. And honestly, I don't think I need to bring up Lala history again with minors, as I've done that quite a few times within this video already. I discovered from a mutual connection that Lala deleted a comment someone left referring to him as kick scams and yawn. If he truly fessed up about his past, why is he trying so hard to hide it? Oh right, it's because he didn't, and he's scared of it coming to light. Thank you guys for sticking around to the very end. I'm sorry for the somewhat long video, but I wanted to make sure that I covered every single topic in depth to the best of my abilities. There is still so much more that I want to talk about regarding Lala on both his past and current scandals, but that will be in for another video on a later date. Once again, please share this video with your friends to spread awareness, because I believe that spreading falsified rumors on someone using word of mouth to ruin their reputation is pretty foul. And we should all know what kind of person Lala truly is. Lala, I hope that you had changed for the better ever since I left 4 years ago, but it seems that you're still exactly the same. And it's truly ironic how you decide to upload a video saying that you're sorry for scamming, only to leave out the parts where you hacked, doxed, manipulated, harassed, threatened, and on top of that, even going as far as calling your victims to school and real-life connections. But rest assured, I'll be sure to publish all the evidence surrounding your past you try so hard to bury on a later date. This is only the tip of the iceberg. Thanks for watching.